Is another day in paradise in beautiful Las Vegas. A windy city it is right now. Wind and rain and cold. I don't know. It's should be spring, right? Missed our show on Monday because my camera was not working. I'm going to make sure right now that it's working here. Lots of stats to go over today. Today's the day that the feds are going to announce the interest rates, if you haven't been following that. It's a little bit political, so we're not sure what exactly they're going to come up with. There's the NAR point of view, which we're going to talk about. And why can't I find this quickly? So hang on just here a second, and I'll make sure that, yes. Yeah, we are good. Okay, so come on. Make sure everything's showing properly. Okay, we're good. So NAR came out and said that they're revising the number of units they think we're going to sell this year. So it went up 580,000. It was 4 million that they felt this year's sales would be, the annual sales for 2023. So they've gone up 580 million units. And then we're going to look at some things that perhaps tell us why that they are doing that. They came up with the median price across the country. This is now $363,000 is the median price for a single family home in the United States. And that, of course, includes Hawaii. The housing starts in February. The new housing starts was 1,450,000, which is really good. There's a lot of places in the East Coast, I know, where there's probably more new housing starts actually than on the West Coast. I'm not sure, didn't research why that was happening. New home sales in January were 439,000, and that number is up, and that's they say a seasonably adjusted annual rate increase. So anyway, let's look at a couple of things here. That perhaps, let's look at this chart, put this down. Yeah, this shows where they had predicted 4 million home starts. And I wanted to show you this because back in 2022, the annual sales was 6.3 million. In 2021, it was up as far as 6.5 million. And so from around 2020, at the end of the year, it was 2020 and all the way through 2022, we had some pretty brisk sales, as you know, with all the multiple offers and the prices going up and all those things, the interest rates low. It was only, what was going to happen here is that there were going to be more sales. So there's a conundrum going on here because when the interest rates are low, more people can afford housing. Now they're saying, the Fed said their number one concern is controlling the price of housing with the high interest rates. Now, I think that makes no sense at all. None at all. I have no idea what they're saying. We need affordable housing, so we're going to raise the interest rates and the prices will go down. But just lower the interest rates. And I mean, you have to make so much money in order to afford a house payment. So if the interest rates are low, it only makes sense to me that there'll be a point where the houses, they'll hit that pinnacle point. They'll hit the breaking point where they say, okay, 485,000 median price is too much. And guess what happens? Then the market goes down a little bit, and then the prices come down a little bit. They're reversing it, and I don't like it. I think it's wrong. I think it's politically motivated, and that's my 2 cents on what's going on here. Now, having said that, NAR is taking a different perspective, and so are some of the other statistical companies like the Mortgage Bankers Association. Look what they're saying. They're saying that interest rates in quarter one, of course, 6.4, for 2023, interest rates for quarter two, they say are going to go down to 6.1. Well, January, February, March, we're at the end of quarter one right now, right? So we'll see what happens today if they're going to raise the rates. But they're saying in quarter two, they're going to come down almost 25 basis points. So we'll see. And then they're saying, hey, in quarter three, we're going to go down to 5.7. And in quarter four, we're going to go down to 5.3. Starting in quarter one of 2024, we're going to go up to 5.1. Down to 5.1. And then it's going to go all the way down again in quarter four of 2024 to 4.6. Now, in a perfect world, and if the 10-year Treasury bonds do yield in the threes, like they're saying here, and then even down into the twos when they reduce it even more, what they're saying is this is based on statistics. And what I'm seeing is things are more political now than I've ever seen them. So we shall see if who wins out, the politicians or the statisticians. And that's what I see is a conundrum for me. I wouldn't even dare predict whether who's going to win the race here. I truly hope that the mortgage finance forecast here is correct. I truly hope that. And I truly hope, like I've been telling you, that you're farming and that you're putting your name out. You have your power hour every day of making phone calls and talking to people and what have you. And you're filling yourself up with this type of knowledge and showing people these things. And I will post these in the group so that you can have them. Let's see what else I wanted to show you quickly here regarding stats. So this was something that NAR put out just recently, this past week, I believe. And they said a homeowner who lists their home during the right week could get $48,000 more from their sale. And of course, they're always talking about median price, comparing with median price, compared to a listing at other times in the year. Now, this might be, if it's NAR, it's across the United States, so it's an average. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's what they said. And according to Realtor.com, the window for the best time to sell a home in 2023 is April 16th through the 22nd, basically saying if you want the best price for your home this year, you need to get it on the market and sell it during that week. It will sell during that week. I'm not sure. It says the best time to sell a home is April 16th to the 22nd, and that's open to interpretation, I think, as to what they're saying. Obviously, they're saying get your house on the market now, but to help sellers capitalize on the most ideal combination of market conditions, Realtor.com created a countdown page complete with a house whisperer, and to help them identify the best week for their zip code and plan for their home sale. So we're going to go to that screen. I'm going to show you how it works if you haven't seen it already. Because sellers who don't prepare for listing are far less likely to see a 5-digit boost in their home's market value during that window. So if you don't prepare for and get listed, you are not going to see that $48,000 boost, or they say 5-digit. They pull back a little bit on the 48,000. And by prepare, we mean making calculated repairs, adding value updates, and using effective marketing tactics. And according to a survey by Realtor.com and Harrison X, 60% of homeowners spent up to 3 months completing these steps. So if you have a seller on the fence, it's time to get them ready. Well, so it's really time to get them ready. They don't have 3 months, they have 3 weeks. So many home shoppers kick off their search in early spring, and they often beat the majority of home sellers to the punch. So for this reason, who list on the earlier side will get more buyer attention and therefore be more likely to sell quickly for a higher price. And she, I believe, is with NAR. So let me show you this house whisperer thing here quickly. Here's what it looks like. So again, NAR, Realtor.com is saying the best week nationally is April 16th to 22nd. sorry, everybody, to sell your home. And this little guy says, I'm the house whisperer. I talk to homes. So let's go and see. Let me put this up on the screen. And we shall go here and see, hide this little guy. And I'll go over here, and where did he go? So as you can see here, I'll scroll down and let's put in a zip code in Las Vegas, 89117, and it'll pop up with Las Vegas. And then it will show you, you have 39 days and 14 hours, 15 minutes and 28 seconds for the sweet spot to sell. So that means it has to be on the market. And then you will have that sweet spot in there. Start planning before it's too late. The best time to sell. So based on where you live, you know, now they're saying here, April 23rd through the 30th for us. So that is 39 days. If you pull back here, no, it's not going to, let's see if I can refresh it and see what happens. Yeah. So when I refresh it, it goes back to the national, which is April 16th through the 22nd is the best week to sell nationally. But again, let's put in North Las Vegas, a zip code there, and 39 days. It goes back to the last week of April for us. Not sure why that is, but I think they're looking at the past, probably getting it from their statistics in the past. So that's an interesting thing to show your sellers. And I put the URL down here. It's realtor.com/time to sell. It's okay. It's cute. It's cute. Anything helps when you're trying to sell homes. So what we've done is in the group, you can download the staging package, and I think it's 37 pages. It's a PDF for you to give to your sellers. And if you are an Agent Formula member, it is now a landing page. And we did take the date of, they had the date 2021 plastered across the top of it. We did remove it for the landing page because this is evergreen. It's not like Kane actually said, well, if we leave the 2021 on there, people are going to think it's old information, because it isn't. It's evergreen, meaning that, you know, this stuff doesn't change that much. So until they come out with a new one, we took that date off, because it really, we looked at it and most of it is still relevant. And now they've come out with, this is brand new. And of course, you see they plastered the date on there, 2023, which that's okay. We'll leave that up there. Remodeling impact report. So this is, I picked 2 pages out from it. This is outdoor, and it's got some interesting charts in here. The cost recovery on outdoor remodeling projects. So standard lawn care service rates the highest. And what it rates is 217%. So that's a big number. Landscape maintenance, 104%. Outdoor kitchen, 100%. New patio, 95%. Tree care, 87%. Landscape lighting, 59%. In-ground pool addition, 56%. So this will show you what your cost recovery is. So if you put an outdoor kitchen, you'll recoup your cost. Now, as I always tell people, it's not just recouping your costs, but a lot of the things that you do to improve your home make it sell faster. So that's the other factor that they didn't really put into this. If you go to the next one, this says, for instance, the outdoor kitchen, most important result, 28% durable and long-lasting results and materials. 99% have a greater desire to be home since completing the project. 71% have an increased sense of enjoyment when they are at home, and 81% feel a major sense of accomplishment when they think of the project. So the project description is install 1 inset grill, stainless steel drawers, ice chest, sink, 60 square feet of concrete countertop, and made from veneered masonry stone. So the two reasons for doing the project, 56% of that says to add features and improve livability. 13% just moved into home and wanted to customize to personal taste. So the outdoor kitchen seems to be a very popular choice for people. It has a joy score of 9. Lots of new words here for us today. A joy score. Haven't heard that one before, but I like it. Anyway, this is a downloadable guide that Kane will be putting on your Agent Formula website as a landing page and as a downloadable guide. And then, you can take the URL of that downloadable guide, paste it in LinkedIn, paste it in the URL in Facebook and Instagram, and then people can go there and download it, and you will capture their email address when they do that. But for group members, you can just go there and download it. I will put it there as soon as the show is over. And it's another thing for you to show up with a list to get your listings. Tom Ferry was talking today with two. One gal was from New Jersey, really a swell woman, if I could say that. And then another lady was she from Austin? I think, no, she was from North Houston. And they all have power hours. They have time when they just spend calling people. If you don't make phone calls, you won't get listings. And these ladies are doing like 100 listings a year. And they attribute it all to just making connections, doing open houses, getting phone numbers, calling people, calling their sphere of influence every 90 days, just to see how people were doing. And over time, now this doesn't happen like your first year, but you got to start. And then over time, if you pick the right farm and you connected with the right people, that's the other caveat, that over time you will start to build up your listing portfolio. And the more you list, the more you last. And with this market, I can't emphasize the importance of getting listings and farming and communicating with people. There was another woman. This is a little tip. John always forgets to turn off his phone. Sorry. Anyway, there's another little tip. And her name is, I forget her name, Lisa. She's really, and I probably will do a clip of her. I might have done a clip in the past of her because she does videos with Tom Ferry quite often, but they meet at their mastermind, and then they video some of the agents who are doing really, really well, utilizing some of the more logical approaches to building your business in real estate. But she says that they'll take a farm, and a lot of times they don't have phone numbers. So they have a virtual company in the Philippines who they give them like different programs to go and seek out phone numbers. So they'll come back, the virtual assistants will come back with maybe out of 100, they've got 20 phone numbers. And so, but a lot of these sites that give you the phone numbers, they'll give you 2 or 3 phone numbers. So their local staff, Lisa's local staff, will take those 3 or 4 phone numbers for that one address, and they'll call till they get the right one or not. And when they get the right one, then they pass it on to the person who's going to make the phone call. So they have a 3-tiered system. And system, of course, is the magic word. Saves you sanity, time, energy, and money. And for me, I believe it makes us money, but same thing. Anyway, so you can go to Remine, you can go and find where you want to farm. I say get people that live in their homes 12 years or more. That's the sweet spot right now, according to the local statistic we saw about a week or 2 ago. Anyway, so you get those people in that farm. Maybe you have a couple farms, different price points, and you get different farms. And then you send those addresses to your virtual assistant in the Philippines, who will run these different programs to get the 3 or 4 phone numbers. Then you take those phone numbers associated with those addresses, and you have your local assistant call them till they find the right number for the right property, and then your sales team calls them. it's a new thing with circle prospecting, because circle prospecting used to be pretty easy because people's phone numbers were published. Well, not so much anymore. I mean, we've done this for years and we see less and less phone numbers being published. So anyway, just saying that that's something that with the coming market, and if these interest rates are truly going to go down in the next 2 years, you really want to be ready to be listing homes and not buying leads. Get your farm. Yes, you have to pay a virtual assistant to dig through to get the phone numbers, but that at least you've got qualified opportunities there, not just leads you're buying that everybody else is buying the same leads. I tell that all the time. Don't buy leads. Don't buy leads. Now, some realtor.com leads, I understand, work for some people, but a dollar for dollar, if I can pay a dollar for, if I can amortize how much it costs me to hire that virtual assistant, to have that farm, and what I make based on the money I spend is really the cost of that qualified opportunity, versus just buying all these names from another company. You're going to pay a lot more, and your production is probably going to be a lot less, and it's going to be more costly to farm those unqualified prospects, I call them, and how many other people get those same leads. So I don't recommend that. However, if it works for you, that's up to you, right? But listening to these gals, and if I have some time, I'll clip some of the things that they said to perhaps reinforce what I'm saying. So anyway, yes, so we're going to have some things for you to take to these listing appointments and let people say, well, Linda Eden left me these reports, and Sally Smith, she hardly even left us anything. So I would think that Linda Eden is more the authority on listing homes. And the other thing that this is another tip. Somebody that I was talking to in the Tom Ferry world said that they have an open house system, and they've actually put it into a PowerPoint, and they leave that as well when they go on their listing presentation because they encourage people to let them do open houses, and they have built over time some statistics on the success of selling the house quicker and for more money when they do the open houses. So just another little tip from another top producer across the country with the Tom Ferry coaching program. Let's see what else is on the agenda for today. I don't know if we have time. Oh, I wanted to show you one other thing here. Yeah, we were talking about statistics, and I meant to bring this up, but I just want to show you. Here's another, and I'm going to put all these things in the group. Here's another chart, and this one is from, this is actually from US News, but Freddie Mac says by the end of the year, we'll be at 6.2%. Fannie Mae says 6%. And again, mortgage bankers think it's going down to 5.2. Wouldn't that be something? But anyway, regardless, everybody seems to be saying the same thing, that the interest rates will go down by the end of the year. Hopefully they're correct. And again, I don't know where politics are going to play into all of this, but we shall see. One other thing I wanted to talk about today briefly, if we have some time, is, let's see. Yeah. So artificial intelligence, you can't get away from it anymore. And this particular video this gentleman talks about Google versus Microsoft and some of the things that they are doing. Google is going to integrate their sheets, a lot of their Gmail, a lot of their things into their artificial intelligence programs coming soon. And Microsoft is going to Microsoft is with ChatGPT will allow you to create a PowerPoint, which is a Microsoft product, of course. So and create letters, from photographs, just all types of things. And one of the things that I think I watched 3 or 4 different artificial intelligence gurus, if you will. They're really delving into it and diving into it and thinking that they're going to lose their jobs because of it. The one fellow, he keeps saying, I know this is going to put me out of business. However, it's still a really cool tool. Anyway, they're saying that you can write something on a piece of paper and upload it now to ChatGPT and ask it to write a story about it or write a website about it. And it will create a website. I think it was a joke. There was a joke on a napkin. They uploaded it to the picture of it, GPT, and said, write a website about jokes. And it did. And it used that joke as one of the jokes. And of course, then I guess you can add other jokes to the actual. Now, when I say that, what I mean is it coded it. It coded it. It actually coded it. So if you have a little bit of time, we can watch a little bit of this today. It's probably too long to watch the whole thing, and I might skip ahead here and there because there's some interesting features I do want you to see. So I'm going to put myself down here, and we shall watch this for just a few minutes. You have a couple minutes. It's interesting. I can't post this on the group because Facebook really doesn't like when we post YouTube videos on feeds in Facebook. So that's why I do it this way.
So this week, Microsoft just made huge announcements that are going to make a ton of companies obsolete. Today, Microsoft did a live stream where they demoed their new AI play toy called Microsoft 365 Copilot, and it's pretty damn groundbreaking what it's capable of. Now, those of us that have been in the AI space and paying really close attention, we all knew that that announcement was coming from Microsoft and that this stuff was getting rolled into these tools. However, this announcement and this live stream comes on the heels of Google's announcement that they're going to be rolling in generative AI into their Workspace suite of tools. This both happened in the same week. So in this video, I want to break down Google's announcement from earlier in the week. I also want to break down Microsoft's live stream from today. And then I want to talk about why these two companies and what they just did is so disruptive to such a large amount of companies that it's probably going to put a lot of businesses out of business. Let's get into it. So first, let's talk about Google's big announcement from March 14th, which in itself was a big deal. However, you might also remember March 14th was the day that GPT-4 launched and broke the world. So in their blog post, they talked about how they're bringing generative AI experiences to tools like Gmail, Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Meet, and within chat, with the initial rollout happening in Google Docs and Gmail. You're going to be able to do things inside of a Google Doc, like just tell it to write a paragraph on X topic, and it will just write that paragraph for you. So you'll be able to tell Gmail things like, catch me up on this email conversation. Gmail will then scan the entire conversation and summarize the whole conversation for you. You'll be able to have Gmail automatically write email replies, and you just double check and hit send if it all works out. You'll be able to write briefs on the emails where it pulls in all the details and edits and just makes it look nice for you. It even is going to allow you to build presentations inside of slides where you give it an idea for the presentation or you give it something from your Google Doc that you already created, and it will literally create the entire slide presentation for you with copy, with images, with the whole thing. Inside of Google Meet, it will actually take notes for you on the meeting and then summarize the notes for you at the end, so you have a quick capture of everything that you need to know that happened inside of that meeting. They're also working their AI directly into Google Sheets. So it'll be able to auto-complete information from cells, create new formulas automatically for you, and use AI to actually categorize things inside of Google Sheets for you. Now, again, the first rollout, they're going to start doing it with just Google Docs and Gmail, and it says they'll be bringing the experience to trusted testers on a rolling basis throughout the year before making them available publicly. Because, you know, big corporations can be trusted with this type of power, but us individuals, it's not safe for us yet. And in the beginning rollout, it's just going to to be in US English to start, but it is going to roll out in more languages over time. Now, another thing that they do say in this blog post is that the AI-based capabilities get better with human feedback. So they're launching the new experiences to their trusted tester program. And as the AI improves itself, they're going to roll it out to more people and let us normal consumers actually start to get access to it. And that's pretty much the TLDR of everything you need to know about Google's announcement around the Google Workspace and its integration of generative AI. Now, on March 16th, Microsoft announces Microsoft 365 Copilot. And if you haven't guessed already by what I just explained about what Google just did, Microsoft 365 Copilot is essentially the same thing, but within Microsoft's suite of tools. They're building in Copilot into Excel, into Outlook, into Microsoft Word, into Teams meetings, into PowerPoint, into business chat, and pretty much every Microsoft tool Microsoft's ever made. They're just sprinkling some AI into it. Now, on their live event today, they talked about how Copilot is going to be added in two different ways. One, they're going to basically add AI features into pretty much every single Microsoft tool. And number two, there's going to be Microsoft Business Chat, imagine ChatGPT, but trained on all of your data. So if you have Microsoft Word documents, you have Excel documents, you've got PowerPoint presentations, you've got Outlook emails, it will basically use all of that data from all of those resources, and you can chat with that data. And just like Google, it's going to be inside of Outlook, and it will be able to summarize entire email threads for you. It'll be able to summarize long emails for you. It'll be able to automatically write replies for you and basically improve your workflow inside of email. They're also adding it to Microsoft Word in very similar ways where it will auto-write paragraphs for you. You can have it rewrite sentences for you. It can make complete PowerPoint presentations for you by pulling in data from a Microsoft Word document or from an Excel spreadsheet, or even from notes that it automatically took for you on meetings. It will pull all of that and create a slide presentation for you, complete with speaker notes. So if you need to use it for a pitch presentation, it will actually even do those speaker notes for you. They're adding it directly inside of Excel, where you can build out a spreadsheet and have it automatically write formulas for you, or you can have it look at the entire spreadsheet and analyze data for you, or look at the spreadsheet and create graphs for you based on what it sees on the spreadsheet, basically automating all of the data analysis of what you actually add into the spreadsheet. If you do meetings inside of Microsoft Teams, it will actually take notes on those meetings, summarize the meetings for you, make sure that there's no unanswered questions from the meeting. It will even watch the chat for you and tell you if there's anything that you missed from the chat that you haven't responded to yet, and just automates a whole lot of the processes of meetings so you can focus on the conversation as opposed to focusing on the chat or taking notes on the conversation. And then, like I mentioned, they also introduced Business Chat, which is essentially a chatbot that looks at all of your Microsoft data. So it will look at your Excel spreadsheets, it'll look at your Microsoft Word files, it'll look at your Outlook emails, it'll look at your PowerPoint presentations, it'll look at your team meeting notes, it will look at all of this information and embed that information into a chat so that you can essentially have a chat with all of your business's data across all of the Microsoft tools, which in and of itself is also pretty damn groundbreaking. So if we're looking at what Google just rolled out and we're looking at what Microsoft just rolled out, Microsoft's looks a little bit cooler, but we haven't seen either one of them ourselves yet. And similar to Google, it says we're currently testing Microsoft 365 Copilot with 20 customers, including 8 in Fortune 500 companies. We will be expanding these previews to customers more broadly in the coming months. So once again, Microsoft, just like Google, is saying, oh, we're giving it to some of the people that we trust, and eventually we're going to give it to everybody else. We'll let you know more later. We don't have our hands on the new AI inside of Google Workspace yet. We can't get our hands on the new Microsoft 365 Copilot yet. Both are just working with trusted partners right now, and hopefully they'll be rolling it out to the world for anybody to use fairly quickly. Now let's talk about why this is so disruptive. There are so many tools out there right now that basically are features of what Google and
So what he goes on to say is he's talking about the different companies that this is going to potentially put out of business. But the other thing is there's a lot of companies that are going to sprout up because of this as well. So we'll see how that all plays out. Just for your information, one of the things that I loved is the other day this was Monday when I wasn't able to show you the stats. And by the way, inventory went down to 60 days, available inventory. And one of the things, let's see, hopefully I have it here. One of the things I did, I'll go grab it real quickly, is I was able to create a chart out of the stats. And I did it because my friend Jimmy says, I like charts better than the stats presented the way I do. So let's see here. If you take this first line, let's see, let me hide this for a second. Okay, if you take this first line up here with high rises, condos, single family, townhomes, and you see the numbers here. So what I taught myself over the weekend, and there's a great YouTube instructor, and he's called the Technical Tech, and he is awesome. He taught me in about an hour how to do this. So I took those and I was able to create the chart that I did post the other day. So that here's everything, but it's in a chart like format instead of just putting the words out. It actually shows how the different types of housing relate to each other. So, and that all came from just these few things right here. And it took it and created that. And it wasn't that difficult. But when I think that I could just take this and feed it into the Chat GPT or Microsoft Copilot, and it would do all that instantly, and I didn't have to do all the steps to create it, that would be awesome. So lots of things happening in our world. Lots of things. And ChatGPT is going to have an impact on real estate. The mortgage industry is having an impact on real estate. Politics are having an impact on real estate. And the market in general is having an impact on our business and what we do. And perhaps we need to start doing some new things so that we can grow our business. And it doesn't happen overnight. You plant the corn in the spring and you don't have it till the fall. And that's about the same. That's why I love the analogy that you need a farm. You need to be farming. So as far as classes going on, our next class, I believe, is Monday. Next Monday, it's on negotiating techniques. Oh no, they changed it. It's not on negotiating technique. It's on new home sales versus resales. Jimmy put it together. It's a great class. We're still selling new homes. There's still strategies there. We didn't do it so much last year because there for a while, the new home builders weren't paying us. So now we're bringing it back because they're paying us again. I hope you all have a wonderful day. It is Wednesday. We all love Wednesdays, middle of the week. Again, I'll put all this information for you to download, to look at again. And have a happy day. We'll see what goes on Friday. I will update I didn't update the stats today because of the other updates we had. So I will have the March, what are we on already? March 24th. Yeah, Fridays will be March 24th stats. And they will, I think the 425 of median price is holding steady. So we shall see, everybody. Have a great day. Sorry I went over time. Hopefully you enjoyed the ChatGPT video just to give you some vision of what's coming down the pike and perhaps how you can use it. And if you have conversations with people, they probably know about it, and at least you'll be in the know with that as well. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Love you. Like, love, comment.